Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Farming Simulator 19, and welcome back to Geiselsberg with Seasons. I'll tell you man, the wheels I feel like are just about to come off on our farm. I want it to work, I really do, but I'm I'm panicking, very much panicking. I think we pulled the trigger one season too early. I feel like we should have gone one more silage harvest up north, paid off the loan, and then very slowly and incrementally brought this southern farm online. We also did things like I spent 100 grand on this little Fent that we're going to use as a sprayer. Now we are using it, we're using the hell out of it, but 100 grand we definitely could have leased. And now this thing. Oh, okay. So let me tell you what's going on. I did not want to use the animal keeper mod because I wanted to feed and water and take care of the animals manually. Even though it's more work with seasons and with skipping days, it's kind of a drag because you take care of all the animals, then you skip time, then you take care of all the animals again. It just, you know. Now here's the problem. Now in the other cow shed, in the adjoining farm, and in this one, you can't get all the floor food up. That was a kind of a problem in V1, and I assumed because it's something that everybody seems to know about that it would be addressed in V1.1, and it was not. So before I realized that, I gave up on the front loader on the Claas. It was too frustrating where you have to have it selected, and if not, it just bounces the camera around. It was too frustrating. So I pulled the front loader console off of the Claas, sold the front loader, got the little Scorpion. Wait, didn't you just have a Scorpion up north? Yeah, we bought one, we sold it for a loss, and we just bought another one. We bought this to spray straw in here and to clean up our floor food, right? Well, the Animal Keeper mod sort of takes care of both of those. However, you can, is it this menu? Yeah, it is. You can adjust what you want to have happen. So we could turn off straw, right, which would be here. And okay, here we go. And you can turn off water. And essentially all it would do is clean up the floor food, right? And we would still have to do the food and water. So, I'm sorry, the straw and water. So we may do that. And that's why I did not sell this already. And also the straw blower here. We may keep this. We may, because down on this farm, as we did last time when we owned this farm, we will use it for cleaning out the cow shed. We'll use it for blowing straw, and we'll also use it for loading bales into our feed mixer when we get one, which we will be pulling with our Claas. So rather than having the front loader on the Claas and then we're hooking up, unhooking, running back and forth, yeah. And then I also bought a water tanker because I didn't want to be carting the one from the sheep farm back and forth from one side of the map to the other. And again, if we keep the Animal Keeper mod on and we have it continue to deliver water, which is a convenience, definitely, then we can sell this. So essentially we could sell this water tanker, the water tanker up north. We could sell the Scorpion. We could sell the straw blower. We could sell a lot of stuff. Really, we could sell this little Fent. But that's the overview. Our loan is now at $750. Previously, we could pay off the loan with one load of silage. Not the case anymore. Even if we do one full, right, like we did before, whatever it was, 1.5 million liters of silage again next summer, we cannot clear our loan. Now, we do have passive income coming in, but that passive income is going to be sort of eaten up by the Animal Keeper, which is charging us, I think, a couple €1,000 per day just to take care of the sheep. So I put all that together, and I think we are once again in that position where we have a loan, and I wouldn't say that I have no intention of paying it off, but essentially I'm just going to let the clock run out, right? Even if we play this game till Farm Sim 2021 drops a year from now, we can just let that loan carry. I mean, maybe at some point we'll be able to chip away at it, but you see what I'm getting at. I'm in exactly the position I didn't want to be in. And what we could do is, I mean, hell, we could even sell the Claas for a couple €100,000. We could take easily half of the volume of our loan off immediately. Take it from 750 down to 300,000 and change if we wanted to. But right? And then we do things like this. Now, this is new. This chemical injector is new on the Mod Hub, and I wanted to tow it with our Fendt, but it requires 160 horsepower, and our Fendt is 90 horsepower. So we leased this thing for $5,000, and so on and so on. You see what I'm getting at. I do want to have fun. I always want to have fun playing the farm sim, but I want to play realistically, and sometimes it's hard to do both. Not realistically, well, yes, realistically in terms of how we actually do things, but also realistically, economically, how we handle our money. So it's I'm concerned. I simply don't know if we can make money fast enough to, and I'm being very careful because this thing is super wide, and it wants to jackknife. I'm trying to get it right between these two bollards. All right, so we go right back here. Opposite lock, turn, damn it. There it goes. It's not exactly tracking straight either. This is, it's a good mod, and it's a modder that I've used their stuff in the past. They seem to make really good mods, and I imagine this thing is extremely true to life, but it's really wide, and it doesn't fold up any smaller than this. I mean, like the actual axle width. The wheelbase is very wide, and it strikes me as the kind of equipment that you would have delivered to your farm in pieces. You would assemble it, and then it would never leave your property. It would never really be out on the highway again without being disassembled again. All right, so we've got, let me get off the highway here. We'll set the brake, and I'll show you on the map. We got weeds. We've got some weeds, and they are, let me see, we are right down here. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to spray herbicide. And if we go here, yeah, we've got weeds. They're just starting, but I believe if we spray this entire field now before it has even begun to grow, then we will have no weeds in the spring. I think. Is that correct? I don't know. Certainly makes sense in my head. And I sort of mentioned this last episode, but I don't know if I was entirely making sense when I said it. There we go. Everything's good. Yep, everything is good. The way the map maker built this farm, built this map, the fields they look like they're straight north and south. God. Oh, it's too late to start again. I just said north and south. Oh my goodness. I should just quit. North and south. The fields look like they're straight north and south, but they're not. They're just the tiniest bit off. And what that means is your hired workers, I mean, you can definitely use hired workers, but then you need to go in and sort of square things up manually. And I know the smart AI will sometimes track right along the edge of a field or right along the edge of the part of a field that needs worked on, right? Edge detect, that sort of thing. And then you can also, I believe, set the GPS in the vehicle control add-on. You can set it down to 5-degree delineation. So there are ways you can try to semi-automate fields like this that are not quite true north, right? True east and west, that sort of thing. There's a way to do it, but it's a little tricky. So, right, we'll do, what do you want to do? Let's do, we could square this. I guess we could square this off now and put it on a worker and see how they do. Yeah, let's try that. Because we're only about 10 minutes in. Too early to end the episode. Or is it? So don't want to drive in my neighbor's crop. I mean, of course I do want to. Now, is this thing high-tech enough to have selective row cut? All right. I've seen, New Holland has a ton of them, but I'm sure other companies have. It just wants to jackknife. Come on. There it is. I'm sure other companies have a similar technology where everything is, you build it all in your office via GPS. And then when you go out to actually use and implement in the field, the tool will cut off. The GPS will drive the tool to cut off when it needs to, so you don't spray twice and that sort of thing. I need to Need to check something right here. And this thing is here. It is. Says it is 12 meters. Now we got the extensions. Moment, please. We got the extensions. How wide does that make it? Still says 12 meters. All right, we'll go 12 meters. I don't know how super accurate this is going to be, but we'll hope for the best. So if we spread this out to 12 meters, all right, 12 I said. There you go. Then we're going to reset. We're going to lock it in. All right. Brake is off. Lower our sprayer. All right. So in other words, the spray arm on the right side now would be cutting the nozzles coming in from right to left so that we did not spray twice. And I know a lot of companies are doing that. There's selective row cutting in your seeders, so you can drive over an area that's you've already seeded, and it will lift the parts of the seeders that would disrupt the soil that you've already seeded. It's crazy. It's unbelievable technology, and it's at least the stuff that I've seen. Wait a minute, what the hell? All right, and then that happened. It's interesting. We've got kind of a piecemeal pattern here. Now I did turn the spray rate down. Let me turn the spray rate back up, because you seeing what I'm seeing here? It looks like we're missing bits. Let's turn the spray rate up and see if this thing kicks in. Oh, there's also, as we're just driving across a field, there is also a tram lines. I guess it adds something to base game seeders, and then it includes those in the mod as well. So it's not strictly something like we've got the Agra bumper on here right now. The Agra bumper is just something that adds on to base game tractors. So this tramline mod is not. It is something that sits on base game seeders and planters and implements, but it has to bring them in again. It doesn't just include the mod itself. And if you use those, I haven't tried them yet, but if you use those, apparently you can put in some tram lines. I do miss Proceed. I feel like Proceed was the very best. All right. Not quite lined up. I don't like that. Let's get this a little more square in here, and then we're going to jack that spray rate and see if we get better coverage. So go back here. All right, like so. Lower. Let's go back to just what the original rate is. No. Interesting. What possible reason could there be for that happening? I'm looking. We do have some up and down. What does this do? Let's zoom in here. I don't see anything moving. Oh, okay, it's moving the connection point. Okay, so we have everything level. I mean, is that? I'm concerned about that. I have to say, I'm not super happy. We're going to spend all this time spraying this field for weeds, and we're still going to have weeds. Well, shoot. If I knew this was the case, I would have just used our Fent. Saved us 10 grand. Oh, game. What am I going to do with you? I mean, it's getting a lot of it. What if we go even higher on the spray rate? Does that do anything? Maybe? I don't know. So, bring this right down here carefully. Lift that. Get everything turned around via drone cam. Yeah, I'm deeply concerned about this farm. And it's really not that big a deal, because we know, like, whether we talk about it or not, we know You just let that loan run forever. But I don't want to do that. I really don't. So we'll lower. Cruise control on. Yeah, that's interesting. You wouldn't think. Okay. I mean, it's definitely going to. It's covering, I would say, the majority of the terrain that we're driving over. So, you know what? Since this isn't doing anything, we'll drop our rate back down and save some herbicide. It is covering the majority of the field that we're driving over. So if we're looking to reduce weeds, like as a percentage, this is certainly going to do that because we are spraying herbicide on most of the field. But I have to say, I would prefer spraying herbicide on all of the field, right? Since we're going to have to do all these lengths. I mean, the alternative, I guess, is we load up the Fent with herbicide and we come out and spray it again. And the problem that I have with that is I know it's just a game, but there's a part of me that's like, oh man, that can't be good for the crops. Spraying all those chemicals on there twice. Oh, that can't be good. That can't be good. But I think that may be the way that we do it. Yeah, so you see what I mean when I say the wheels are coming off? I feel like we're getting into cheese territory, and that's not a place that I want to be. Like using the animal keeper mod, the animal helper mod, I did not want to do that. But if the only way to get our cows to 100% productivity is to use that mod, we sort of have to do it. And it's an odd bug. It's not something that you see in every map, so it's not something that I can say, oh, well, you know, it's just hard to build a map where you can get all the floor food up. No, not at all. Most maps, the floor food, you pick it up no problem. And it is something that I've seen discussed in enough different places that the map maker has to know this is a thing. So when they were making the map compatible with seasons and doing that work, why not fix that bug as well? And for some reason or another, they did not. So we sort of have to go with the animal keeper mod. But now we have a moral hazard because I really do. It gets a little tedious taking care of the animals off camera. Oh, you know what? Hang on. This is looking pretty good right here. Nice muddy wheels. Yeah, what if we go right in here? There's your screenshot. Beautiful. So it does get a little tedious taking care of the animals when I'm trying to move between evolutions, right? Get us forward to the place where we can do the next fun job. And the animal keeper certainly sorts out a ton of that because I don't have to throw straw anymore. I don't have to clean up floor food anymore, and I don't have to haul water back and forth. All I need to do is throw food in there, and the thing about the food is you can preload it, right? Like at the sheep operation, I can put 10 bales in front of the trough and it will just consume as needed because there's a trigger in there. So I can do the same thing down south. I can load up a trailer with 20,000 liters of TMR and just back it in there. Takes 2 seconds and everything else is done. Careful with the power pole. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like we had an original. Oi! Oh, vehicle control. I love you. It's a little. There's a pause sometimes with the vehicle control add-on, which is also mysterious to me because it's supposed to be something that makes keyboard steering easier and more accurate. And some of the things that it does, at least with my gamepad, I think, would this not make keyboard steering more difficult? It would certainly make it more exciting. Oh. So we're going to do, I guess, this length, and then the next one we will have covered all of field 33. All of field 33 except for the parts that we missed. So at that point, I think we'll call it. And yeah, I guess I'll take all this stuff back. Well, I'll empty it first onto a pallet so we don't lose the herbicide that we bought. And then I will empty the fertilizer out of the Fent, load it with herbicide, bring it over here and spray this entire field. Oh, game. Why you gotta do me like this? So it goes. I would like to... I saw a geomod for Geiselsberg specifically, but it talks a lot about snow. And I am concerned. I'm not worried about losing grass, because it'll just grow back in the spring. But I'm worried that if we activate that geomod, we could lose all this triticale that we just planted. And I don't want to do that. But it does talk about snow, and as much as... I love seasons. I really do. I love seasons. There are aspects of seasons. I mean, you can... We'll check at the end of this row. You can turn snow off. Can you not? Yeah. Pretty sure you can. So we'll go right here. Right? Lift that. Set the brake. Seasons menu is right here. Snow mode. Yes, you can turn it off. I like the idea of snow. I just don't actually like snow. I do leave it turned on, but the thing is, for the most part, I'm not really doing anything on my farms in the winter, so it can be, you know what I mean? How do we want to do this? I was thinking we would just go back down. Yeah, no, because then we'd be... Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. In fact, you might want to do that, would you not? We're going to have nozzles spraying the little grass verge. Jackknife, my goodness. You would want to do that, would you not? Because weeds spread. So if you sprayed herbicide in your fields, check my style, not hitting that tree. If you sprayed herbicide in the fields, but not in that grass verge, could you not have weeds in your grass verge that would then spread to the field? Now here, now it's not spraying at all. Hang on. Let's check something here. Is it cutting out completely because we're over that grass? Oi. A little wiggle back there. Right. So if we drop this, no, it certainly does not spray there. Interesting. All right. I'm baffled. Let's go down here and see if we can finish up this little stripe up the side of field 33, and then we'll call it. I'm at a loss. I really am. How about now? And there, well, okay, half. I assume that has something to do with where fertilizer went down. Yeah, that could be it. Okay, so I'm not necessarily blaming the mod. It seems very regular, and it did seem like it was very much in sync with where the nozzles are placed on this mod. But it's possible that what's not taking herbicide in this field is an area that we hit with fertilizer. You know what I mean? I'm just brainstorming. I don't know if that's the actual problem or what the solution is, but I know sometimes because fertilizer and herbicide are sort of like two sides of the same coin. Like you can't spray fertilizer and then spray herbicide without something happening in between. Like your crops need to grow, or you need to cultivate or something. And I think it may have something to do with that jackknife. I think it may have something to do with that darkening texture on the field that you can't do twice. It only lets you do once. Right, so we drop that. And now it is letting us spray on this side. Okay. No, it's not. It is. It sort of is. It's not. I think this is as good a place as any to end it. My goodness, what an episode. Oh, we are struggling on the farm. We are most definitely struggling. Let's get this thing parked up, we'll call it. And I'll fix all this off camera. I don't even know where we'll be next episode. I would like to plow some snow, just for the novelty of it. All right, set the brake. I'm gonna hop out, get rid of all this. There you have it, folks. Thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 19. This is the Geiselsberg map with seasons. We'll see you next time. Take care now.